that there's a no knowingness, and it's not a forgetfulness. It's a, you totally disassociate yourself with the body. You just absolutely know the formless sense, this formless sense of presence. I compare myself with sky, not body. Body's going through this, whatever this is happening, but I'm sky, so sky is not affected by this. And I see this through mantra, slowly, silently, permanently. All the concepts, all the sticky concepts are erased. Then I can exist without desiring to label that existence as something. Because as soon as I put a label on I exist as what? I'm in this body has these family, all needs, all requirements came along with the body, and all sticky concepts stick to the body, that I am not. Yet I can use the body, do my job, do my duties, do the activities, but just be totally, completely unconcerned. Unconcerned doesn't mean that I don't care what's going on. Unconcerned means there's no form that I create that is in this, that has a stake in this, that could possibly be concerned. Yes, you could call it like playing poker with somebody else's money, and they're not going to ask you to pay them back. You're going to thoroughly enjoy your game. You'll probably make bets that you wouldn't have bet before because it's a little more high stakes than you would use. But you know you just have this money and you're just there to play the poker game. No win, no loss.
But isn't it possible to feel even more compassion if you know there's the people who the suffering comes from the identification. So if you can sort of not do the identification, then it opens you up to feel more compassion for people who are in the identification.
Again, I think that's a body-based concept because there's no you to have any feeling of compassion.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing is there. And you know this. You know that all the people that are out there and all the little sufferings and all that kind of stuff are just like we talked about before. It's a dream.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm not showing compassion in the moment.
Right.
But there's not a compassionate person being formed to show compassion. Nor is there the idea that there's another person out there. It's your own self. And I have no control over what's going on in the illusion, especially in another body that's powered by this selfless self that is believing itself to be that form. That's why if you go to somebody and you say, you're the selfless self or whatever, even though that is the selfless self behind those eyes and ears, it's rooted in that body knowledge belief. It is pretending that it is that body and will fight to defend that idea about itself because it truly believes that.
Well, isn't suffering real on some level?
Suffering, no. Pain, yes.
Yeah, pain.
Suffering is a mind-created thing where you go over and over and over in your mind and you tend a garden. You create this garden of suffering and you water it and you're in the suffering.
Right.
Suffering is an illusion.
Right.
Because there has to be someone in to suffer, and there's not. And if you were to mantra the next time that you're suffering, or even seeing someone suffering, you'd be quite interested to see how there is no suffering, but there's actions and movement with no egoic sense of self trying to take credit for it.
But the pain is felt because the body goes through pain, obviously.
Body will feel pain, yeah, but it's not, yeah.
It's not, pain and suffering are different.
Absolutely. Suffering is a mind-created thing and is absolutely an illusion. You have to have a belief in yourself as a sufferer, creating a sufferer in order to suffer. And then your attention has to be paid to the thought train and identified with as this is why I'm suffering. Suffering is not an emotion or a feeling. Suffering is a state of mind.